Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Give a warm welcome to your SoCal Real Rejects.
USC White House. Coming. I saw the billboard.
Is that your Macho Man? Oh, I was like, why is this so thematically tied to
I'm so excited.
Michael Chandler's fighting. I like him.
Dude, I love Michael Chandler.
Do you know who Michael Chandler is?
Of course I do. He's strong and fast and he can punch and kick.
He is,
and grapple when necessary.
He's a wrestler. Those are apt
What I
points.
tell you, I
knows
know
well
what I'm talking about.
That's true.
Guys, we got ourselves an X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer. Make some noise. I can't hear you.
It's because they're on the internet in the future. Perhaps it's tomorrow's people that are quiet.
And like 2 weeks ago, an official trailer for Lanterns came out. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we should watch this.
Before the show in a month and a half.
In a month and a half. Speaking of Lanterns, guess what today's video is brought to you by? I love this because brand teams across companies, they don't really know sometimes like a lot of things. So I just think this is so hilarious that this happened. We are sponsored today. And they did not. I'm pretty sure like they didn't know you were here. And that's just what makes
like
it,
right here. Like actually
that
here.
just makes it so funny to me. We're sponsored by DC Studios Showcase, the official podcast for DC Studios. More on them soon. We shout them out all the time for free.
Sometimes they ask us to.
And then I was like, you know what? Been doing it for free for so long. I did an unpaid guest appearance. Time to make some money off of them. Hey, Coy.
Hey.
I'm excited to shout out your show for monetary gain today.
You know what? That's what friends are for. Profiteering.
It was actually the easiest brand deal to do. I'm like, oh, I know this one.
Well,
I was in this.
You said the words already, and now it's time to say the words with them approving it.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Gosh. And we will be shouting them out some more when it's not paid.
New episodes today. First episode,
Oh,
season
God.
2.
Wait for the ad.
Oh, it's me shilling today, May 29th.
Anyway, Coy.
First episode, season 2.
We saw X-Men 97 2 years ago. I did a slight recap of what happened by Googling stuff. And I was like, damn, I don't know. Whoa.
It's a dense show.
Some stuff happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently it's picking up right where we left off. Are you ready to watch this trailer? So we're going to watch this trailer. We're going to do a reaction. We waited to react. And then we're just going to take it in, okay? We might not notice everything on the first go around.
We haven't seen it. And we've avoided because people have been like tagging and DMing and yelling.
So then we're going to go frame by frame so Coy can point out every little thing that we see, okay?
Yes.
And I've read 10 X-Men comics this year, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
I know everything
Almost a
that's coming
dozen.
in. I'm ready to do this.
Not continuous either. None of them were after or before the other. It was just random 10 issues.
Random 10
They
issues.
went in a comic store and just started pulling X-Men. It was a weird choice.
Everyone was like, this is boring, moving on to a different one. Let me see if this catches my interest. All right, I read the Frank Miller, the Quietly or Morrison? Oh my God.
It's Morrison art. I mean, Morrison writing Quietly
That's
art.
what it is, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it was right.
It's the same. That's the same one.
Let's watch this trailer. Then we're going to do the Lanterns.
double
trailer.
right.
Yeah, I was right. Then we're going to do the Lanterns one. And then ready? Let's do it, Coy. Let's watch this.
Ready. Ooh.
I'm ready, John.
All right, just making your faces look pretty.
Ready for
in
my
the frame.
close-up.
Ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Mr. Kevin Feige, sir, here we go.
It's hard to believe.
Gambit.
Not waiting for
It's like a
me.
Generation X costume.
Someone I lost. Someone special.
They're really making Gambit's death count.
Gambit. And then the 60s Spider-Man.
The X-Men are scattered through time. In the past, from the start of Apocalypse's reign.
Oh, we're going to get a proper apocalypse.
Future at the
About
height of
time.
his rule.
Oh, from the different
Ascani
timelines.
son.
Hey, the God Kills suit.
Most vulnerable. The 19.
Polaris? Oh, wow. That's cool to see.
Could have at least bought me a drink first.
Yes.
Oh,
the
awesome.
Frank Quietly suits. Dude,
Jubilee's looking awesome.
she is. This is epic. This music's great.
Bishop and Forge.
To the 90s.
To the 90s.
The right era.
A battle that cannot be won.
Oh,
Against the dawn of an age that cannot be stopped.
oh, they're doing it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Just about us.
they're really doing Grant Morrison's run.
We've lost.
From the beginning of time.
Savage Land? Deadpool!
Oh,
is he Deadpool?
I saw Deadpool.
That was Deadpool,
I think
right?
Morph turns into him.
We stand together. Right here.
Cool.
Damn.
Oh, is that
I believe in the X-Men.
Oh, sweet. Look, Archangel.
We're back.
Yes, the Frank Miller cover. Okay.
I had hair standing on my body the entire time.
That is one of the better trailers I've seen this year. That was insane. That was uncanny.
Ha!
I like we covered the hell out of
Guys.
season 1.
He said uncanny.
I said it. I said the thing. It
said
was
uncanny.
sensational. It was uncanny.
Wait,
it was
wait.
it was
It was
new.
astonishing.
Lean,
It was-
lean
it was-
back.
it was.
Lean back into Koi's frame.
This is uncanny and astonishing.
There. We almost got you.
Someone commented one week. They're like, "Oh, I just realized they're not in the same room," and I was like, "When did you realize that?" Because I didn't. I've always thought Greg and I were right here.
We'll add a third angle that's like an aerial camera
Yes.
so that we can see everybody.
That trailer.
That was awesome. We're gonna go frame by frame
Let's
in a
do
second. I mean,
When you're ready,
or-
let's discuss it. Then we'll frame by frame.
okay, I like that idea.
Because I feel like I'm overwhelmed. I think I need to get some thoughts out.
My first thought, if I can just say this one, because I know you're going to have a monologue
No,
to go
please.
through. My first thought is we did a whole, we watched all the X-Men movies this year, which got me reading a bunch of X-Men comics. And Apocalypse was one of the more memorable experiences due to how disappointing of an experience it was. And it looks like we're going to get a whole season dedicated to the 12 and just the origin, the rise of, isn't there like there's a comic, right? Called like The Rise. Is it called The Rise of Apocalypse?
Mm-hmm. And the
like
12.
the actual Egyptian version of him?
Yeah.
And the 12, yes. I'm a little familiar with the 12. And I got to finish that. There's a lot of runs that I haven't finished. I just
That's
finished
also
God
a
Kid.
pretty long run.
Yeah. They had me like hopping around between a bunch of stuff. And then I just finished like 2 weeks ago, God Kills.
God Loves, Man Kills.
And they had the Magneto outfit. So, this is the most like X-Men primed I feel right
Yeah.
now. So I'm very, very excited for it. And I can't wait to go frame by frame because I was already like, there's little details here that I'm picking up. I don't have time to say it. And maybe I'm wrong. So I'm not going to say anything. So let's just wait. But how are you feeling?
I've similar experience watching the trailer where I was aware of little details, but I wanted to like appreciate the edit. Like I knew if I'd speak, I'd go over something because the season 1 was so dense. Like each episode, I remember be like 30 minutes, and then we talk about it for like as long as the episode because of the amount they put in, and it never felt stuffed. It just felt like as dense as the comics do. The comics are really, really like full. And I remember like that Gambit episode is one of the best episodes of anything Marvel's done. And this feeling like it's a spiritual successor to the 90s show is already a really hard thing to do because that's one of the most revered animated series of all time. This second season, both feeling like all of the things from the era that show was from, but modernized, is so special because, this is referencing a lot of iconic 90s and early 2000s X-Men, and it's leaning into Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely and a lot of things that you couldn't have done in that show then. So it's really beautiful that the sequel to that show can now look back at 30 years and kind of pull the things that thematically work with the story where it left off.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of the greatest opportunity to do a show called X-Men 97 and be about the last 30 years of X-Men and really cherry pick, because there's some rough X-Men runs, especially when the licensing got really messy with Marvel, where they had the X-Men, but everyone else owned any licensing rights. So Marvel, the comic would... the comic company was pulling toys and like getting rid of like shirt licensing. They were like, if we don't have them all the way, we're not going to make that money. It was a crazy time. So a lot of the writing in the X-Men was like, a 6-issue run, then they'd change teams. And so it was very like choppy and hard to enjoy. And they tried to make Inhumans a thing. Didn't work. Twice. But I think this is a really cool opportunity to go, all right, we had this long journey to get the X-Men back to their prime. Let's grab the stuff that totally worked, like Joe Madura art and early Joe Kelly I got reference for. The Grant Morrison Frank Quietly is like one of the most revered runs of all time, but you can blend it seamlessly into where the X-Men 94 show left off by having it be a sequel to the reboot. I love this just as a fan of the 70 years of X-Men. This is such a cool opportunity.
That is a really good point because, a lot of these runs came after the show came out.
Yeah, you couldn't have done it.
Yeah, you couldn't have done it.
Didn't exist yet.
And also, Apocalypse, please correct me if I'm wrong because I rewatched the show in a vacuum just leading into the season 1 of this. I remember I have like vague images in my head of Apocalypse being a main storyline within season 4, I want to say, of X-Men, the original run. And now we actually get to pay off a lot of what was even set up for then. So even on that front, like they found a way to do it. The only thing that kind of concerns me is I heard the showrunner for this is the person who show ran What If season 3. And that was my least favorite season of What If. So
if the writers and the director that we interviewed a lot of people for this show, which was such an honor. Like we talked to the Newton brothers, we talked to Jay Castorina, we talked to a lot of the teams. My friend
Boyd
Charlie.
DeMeo lives at my house.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
He lives right at my house.
Explains all those pictures.
Yeah.
Every time we're over at Greg's house, there's just a lot of near nudity. But like Charlie, my friend Charlie, who came on the show for like a long form, the team all felt so passionate and like truly from birth X-Men born and bred that showrunner is obviously a hugely important part, but I can't imagine you wouldn't feel that. Like the showrunner would have to literally be the worst and shut everything down for 40 creatives to be like, no, like I have faith.
Let's see how well that faith pays off as we go frame
July 1st
by frame for July 1st release date.
And season 4 confirmed.
Wow. It's a lot of seasons.
That once a year. They want to have it yearly like shows should be.
Okay.
So we are going to get a season 4. We're getting season 2 July. Season 3 has already been cooking. So what a time to be an X-Men fan. This all beautifully setting up them coming back to live action as well, like getting us talking about X-Men.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's go frame by frame.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
What a good frame.
Yes.
That's a hell of a frame.
Okay, so we got some very interesting Ascani Sun vibed outfits through time. This is what I've lost my mind.
Second here. Let's go back.
Can we go back to Jubilee or earlier? Here,
Yeah,
this
that's why I was
my biggest pop. No,
this is it.
You were right. This to me, and this is an insane thing to say, in this entire trailer, seeing a Generation X Jubilee costume is my favorite moment. And I was reading X-Men from age 4. The first new book that I identified with, like everyone has their gateway into X-Men, and Uncanny X-Men had been going on so long, I could not go back to the beginning. I started really collecting with Generation X, and this costume is from some of my favorite stuff. If you guys have seen that, it went everywhere. Me basically describing my 5 X-Men and what I do, my Wolverine pitch as a show, like that whole video. Chamber is my wild card, and it's because of Generation X and that whole era. So if they do anything with my favorite weird side team, I'm going to lose my mind. And it's also formative to the 90s. I'd say that Generation X is the most 90s of the X-Men stuff.
How do we know for sure it's Jubilees?
That looks like Jubilee.
Okay.
Look at Jubilee Generation X costume.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay. I'm 99.7% sure.
Well, we'll go off of that then.
I'm gonna say that's
I
Jubilee.
mean, it's the color of the yellow and the black. So that would line up. I'm just making sure.
I would put money
So
on
she's handing Rogue Gambit's card at the Fall of Genosha.
Yes.
That's what it looks like to me. Okay. Cool.
that costume makes me so happy.
Next frame, John.
Next frame coming up, sir.
That's Rogue. She's sad because she loves Gambit.
Yes.
There, I did it.
Remember
I
me.
contributed.
Yes.
And there's Gambit.
There's Gambit memories. That's from season 1 before the Genosha fall.
This looks like an anime.
Remember it. 60s Spider-Man right there. Wanda. Let's keep it going. Okay, yeah.
So this is, to me, Apocalypse, like throwback Egypt stiff.
Well, when we ended off season 1, this whole band, can you go back a little bit, John? This whole band was the one that bumped. How do you say Apocalypse's name again? What's his name?
On Sabanur.
Sure, I trust him. Yeah,
On Sure.
I have a very hard time remembering that. But yeah,
Apocalypse.
But that's where they bumped into the young version of him in Egypt, because what this trailer is establishing is like they said, X-Men are spread throughout different. So it's like there's some X-Men in the present 90s, and then in the past this group right here, and then someone in the future. I imagine that's where the Cable storyline is and stuff.
And Forge, and maybe I feel like that could thematically work if he's in the future with.
I think it was Bishop and in the Days of Future, not like in the comic of Days of Future Past, it wasn't Bishop, but in the show, it's Bishop is the one who does the time traveling for the Days of Future Past cartoon. And so I think Bishop and Forge left off, and they're in the 90s still saying, I think he was the one who says the 90s line here. It moved really fast.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I can't commentate in real time. There's 100 frames.
Why don't you just hit play, and then we'll say pause and go back. Let's just really willy-nilly this.
William Nilliam incoming. Here we go.
Can we get some audio, though?
Oh, sure.
Young Apocalypse.
All right.
In the past, from the start of Apocalypse's reign.
That, pause. My God, go back to that pyramid. Oh my God, look at that Cyclops outfit. What's that outfit? What's the Cyclops? Go to Cyclops really
It's from
quick.
the Ascani Sun, I think.
Did I feel like I... Which one's Ascani? I don't know names.
Ascani Sun is like a 4-issue miniseries with the two of them like out of time in this kind of setup. He goes by Slim.
He's got the white. Oh, looks so good.
Yeah, like not obviously, I apologize, but I believe that's going to be Nate Gray,
The son up there,
X-Man.
yeah.
And he's the hair and everything else. I think that's the situation.
Okay. Can we go back to the pyramid, John?
Yes.
That is sick. That is a lot of depth.
Okay, yeah. So this is establishing the past and the future then, because they're going like, here's the past timeline with just the original pyramids. And then look at that little Matrix Reloaded Zion celebration they got going on down there. Or murder.
Those are dead.
Those are dead bodies.
Those are dead. That's not a celebration.
We don't know.
Zion's an orgy. That is the opposite.
It could be both an orgy and dead people.
You know, that's true.
Have you ever been to one?
I've never been to a dead person orgy.
Well,
If that was the question.
you don't fly in my circles.
I separate. I keep those things separate. My death and my orgies.
Saying life's too short.
Yeah, it's fair.
And you really learned that at one of my orgies.
Sometimes in real time.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it going.
That pyramid. boy.
X-Men has orgies. Though,
It
right?
does. Krakoa.
X-Men orgies Wolverine.
Yes. What could have been.
Hit play, John. Please.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thanks, John.
Yes, sir.
We're just gonna live here.
Barbarino.
At the height of his rule.
Oh,
Can you go back a little bit,
that's
John? To what's going on in that like battle, the sky thingy?
Sky thingy.
Are those like the?
It looks like a machine is doing it, right? Like that's a portal opening up. Like there's violence, and then
But this is back in ancient Egypt. Though.
yeah. So maybe that's some connecting, pulling into the future.
It's Black Adam.
Oh, is that Apocalypse coming in at this moment to take them out here because this is when they're most vulnerable? Is that what's
That
going
would
on?
make sense. That'd be a very. I mean, because especially this is modern Apocalypse, not ancient Apocalypse.
Yeah. That makes a
So
lot of
him
sense.
jumping back would be how he'd maintain control.
All right, can you play, John?
Oh,
That's what I heard that and I was like,
oh, I love that Polaris is in this. I love
pause
this
it.
shot
Pause
right
it.
here. That is so sick.
so Polaris, is she officially Magneto's daughter, or is that like a thing we just assume she is now?
You know, certain writers, Magneto's. I consider her Magneto's daughter.
Okay.
I think of them as 3 kids,
Okay.
like Scarlet Witch, Polaris, and Quicksilver. But that's because I was raised when her first appearance on Uncanny X-Men number 50 is one of the last X-Men I need because I want it in good condition. I really like Polaris as the daughter because I think it really enhances Magneto's character. Like his relationship with her is fascinating. But doing this like X Factor throwback here is such a, I mean, that's a beautiful Marvel Girl era cover. That's awesome.
Well, then I'm going to view her like Magneto's daughter because you said so, Coy.
Thank you. I want to be the one to control the narrative.
And when you at DC Studios podcast as a comics correspondent expert, but not just that anymore, also a co-host, I trust every comic opinion you've ever had.
Yes. Thank you.
I also trust every comic opinion that you've ever had.
Yes.
I love the generations.
Mechanical
I
weapon.
mean, these 2 photos are great, like the generations photos. The OG Jean Grey outfit too.
Yeah, the Marvel Girl throwback's awesome.
Oh, Gene?
And then you have Angel there, and we do see Archangel in there, and like how you first told me how like if you're gonna do X-Men, the Horsemen or the 12, you got to have Archangel in there. Like it's essential.
100%. He's the one that you feel the most brutalized because he physically changes. Like his skin morphs with his bones, and the weaponizing of his wings is from like a symbol of like purity and innocence into like a weapon. It feels like a great summation of Apocalypse.
Cool. Can you play, John?
Of course.
Jeez, could have at least bought me a drink first.
Oh, that's so cool.
So she's like controlling the beams to go out. This is like a Psylocke power, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like in doing the Wolverine claws is very unique because it looks like it's like spreading the
so cool.
she's spreading the optic blasts out.
What a unique way to what a power couple.
Yeah, I love X-Men for their dynamic of like working together, and I think this is gonna be. I mean, like we saw with the first season with Gambit, like seeing the team up stuff, like Gambit running in. This looks like that next evolution of something like that.
This is really giving me Famke Janssen and James Marsden vibes. You know, this
Sure,
power couple
they were so.
chemistry.
Yeah, and a lot of screen time and a lot of character development.
Yeah, this is it, man.
That's it.
This is it.
Frank Quietly suits look great. I know people wanted them to stay in the same suits from the first, but if you're going to have time pass, I think the Frank Quietly suits are very indicative of the early 2000s.
And with this that was the one with the Sentinels, right?
That's one with Danger, and like they all have Sentinels.
No, but I remember like when I first I read that one specifically leading into one of the comics, one of the movies we were going to watch.
It was called New X-Men, and it started with like they renumbered.
Did I read it before First Class or did I read it before Days of Future? I remember reading it specifically because I was like, oh, I have to read this before going into this movie for some reason. And
It's the one where like Beast changes into be more cat-like. Danger is is an element. Danger's also in
man, I don't know how you remember all this, man. my brain is a mashed potato of comic
It's
images.
a lot. And also like 70 years of X-Men, I've read almost all of it.
I don't
It's
know how you
dense.
did it. Oh my God.
But the Frank Quietly stuff is some of my favorite. Like New X-Men, if you guys want to read anything to prepare for this, if I have one recommendation, it'd be the New X-Men run from Frank Quietly on art and Grant Morrison writing. Grant Morrison stayed on X-Men for quite a while. And then my second rec would be Generation X.
That's the one that started with the Descendant of Trask. Am I wrong about that?
Descendant of in New X-Men?
In the Frank Quietly one.
Yes.
I believe it starts off with, and there's some, and it's fucking
Zorn is in it.
Xavier's sister, bald.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there it
and
is.
Zorn, do you remember Zorn? He's got like the electromagnetic stuff.
Yes.
And yes, that's that run.
Good stuff. This is what the breakdown's for.
This is why we're here, frame by frame.
For Coy to help me remember what I read. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, it looks great.
That's why I don't drink as much anymore because I need every brain
This
cell.
is why I like doing research.
Yeah, it's fun because you get to.
Comes in handy when a time comes for it.
It's fun too to like be excited about things you actually recognize. This is a move I don't, which is exciting because I've like never seen this happen. This is cool.
Inventive. But no, I love that they are demonstrating them as like a power couple, especially because we're going to get to another kid more because they do have. They mention him in the. Does he actually show up? God, that's I'm due for a rewatch.
Season.
Yeah, but now he's actually going to be an actual character.
Yeah,
All right, hit play,
that was 2
John.
years ago. So sick. It looks like we've got Sunfire and Jubilee. I imagine Generation X. They're both in that costume.
Can you go back to that, John? I love that shot of Jubilee. That's one of the most badass looks she's ever had. I feel like people don't know how to make Jubilee.
Oh, this
look.
confirms for sure that was her.
That's the outfit, yeah.
That is definitely her.
People, and I believe it was Sunspot and Jubilee who were interacting in the first episode.
Ah, yes. Because we had that one episode we like half didn't like, and it was the two of them.
And like Jubilee is one of the characters who I feel like they have a hard time making look real badass.
But that was pretty
really
badass. Bishop and Nightcrawler in Egypt.
Fighting the hand, breaking out Daredevil.
Everyone's fighting the hand and breaking out Daredevil across all mediums.
Can you play? We're going to have to like pause a lot more coming up.
So yeah, Forge and Bishop, it looks like they were in the past though. So maybe they go back. Nate Gray, I think.
That makes sense. Nate to Cable.
Oh man, Storm looks great. And in her classic, like a throwback
Can you
costume.
go back, John? What was that thing in the center there? What was that crazy? Go back.
It's got an X on it.
Go back. There, that.
Oh, that's the Mega Sentinel from the new X-Men run. I didn't catch that the first time. That's the Birther Sentinel. That's like the Sentinel that just destroys. That's the
I haven't got there yet.
dude. It's heartbreaking. Holy crap! This image will change once you've read it.
Okay.
This image is like an Asteroid M level moment. This is crazy. I'm shocked they showed that in the trailer, but then it's just for the people that actually read comics. So for us, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I was saying earlier that the Sentinels, they actually did some real destruction. Like, they were the ones who came to Genosha in the Gambit episode.
Yeah.
And so we see, like, how powerful they are in the X-Men 97 show.
This is like that again.
Got it. Cool. They are wreaking havoc. Ha! Havoc.
Use Sentinels right, movies.
Against the dawn of an age.
Wait, go back. That was Colossus over a dead body?
Yeah, hold on, yellow boot, magic?
Ileana?
Yeah, maybe?
Your favorite character from the most underrated X-Men movie.
Anya Taylor-Joy?
They're brother and sister, right?
Yeah, that would make sense. That would be extra tragic. And the Sentinel hand in the shadow there.
Sentinel head. In the
Oh,
shadow.
yeah, even further.
Couple of them.
This looks like it maybe coming
Can
from
you
the
go back,
Nimrod
John?
era.
The building. We're going to have to pause a lot more. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you.
I guarantee it.
These look like evolved Sentinels, maybe Nimrod stuff.
Okay, cool. Cool building. Who's this?
He's a bad guy in that run. Magneto with the Asteroid M. I know him, I just forget his name. He's got like crazy 90s, like early Image era shoulder stuff. Like those are attached to his costume right there.
Coy, you're disappointed.
I know, I've done so
Koi-san.
well up until this point.
Koi-san.
Failed. Guys, I no longer get to stay here as a comic person because I don't recognize this one guy, or I don't remember this one guy's name.
You've been demoted to enthusiast.
Is this Exodus?
It might be. Hold on.
The white clothes and then the gold, because this I have an image here of Exodus from
It is 100% Exodus.
season 1.
Yep, no, that is Exodus. I was trying to find a comic image. That is Exodus for sure.
The power of Google image search.
Yes.
Hey man, gotta love a research montage.
Yeah, his costume is so specific.
Yeah, that's definitely him, yeah.
He's
And he was in Genosha and before, I think we see him before the battle happens.
He also, I mean, thematically, they might do him as kind of like the other side of Archangel because his powers get unlocked by Apocalypse.
Okay.
So like he's from the Crusades. He's like 11th or 12th century. He's like an ancient mutant. And then his powers get unlocked by Apocalypse and he becomes a bigger threat. So thematically, that could tie into Archangel.
Wow.
Redeem myself.
How much time's left on the trailer?
A minute. I think we're like halfway.
Oh my God. I feel like it's a good time to hear a word from today's sponsor.
Hey, who could that be? Let's go ahead and find out.
What? Oh, what? Reject Nation. Today we're shouting out something very special. DC Studios Showcase, the official podcast, which of course co-stars our one and only Real Rejects, Coy Jandro. And I'm not just saying this because he's our guy. By now you all should know, when it comes to comics, film, and actually connecting those worlds, Coy is one of the best people you could put in that chair. I fortunately got a guest star on season 1 because Coy invited me, and I had such a great time with him, Frankie, the whole crew. They're all a whole bunch of nice folks over there. And what I really love about the vibe and then even their interviews that they do is that it never feels like a typical press interview type of show or podcast. Because when you have someone like Coy, you're not getting, cliche things to talk about. You're getting real fan questions, deep research, deep comic context, movie love, character psychology, kind of conversations you truly don't get anywhere else. And now Coy is the main co-host of season 2 alongside the wonderfully talented Frankie Smith, and she is such a joy in real life. I'll tell you guys, it makes sense why all these famous people love her. And it's awesome because the DC Studios Showcase is your inside source for everything that happens across DC Studios. Movies, shows, comics, all of it. And this season, they're of course going to be covering Supergirl, Clayface, Lanterns, more because DC has more. And the season 2 trailer even showcased that they're going to have interviews with people like Millie Alcock, Jason Momoa, the Supergirl director, Craig Gillespie. Last season, they had Superman himself, James Gunn. And in this season, they'll be talking, of course, on-set stories, personal insights, and what it was like bringing these characters to life, and a whole bunch of other directions that we do not know yet because there are surprise guests coming this season. So, Reject Nation, you can check out the official DC Studio Showcase, the official podcast on the HBO Max YouTube channel, using the QR code here on screen or the link in the description box and pinned comment. And you can listen and watch on HBO Max or wherever else you get your podcasts. New episodes drop every other Friday. Subscribe so you do not miss one. That's DC Studio Showcase wherever you get your podcasts. We really want them to get picked up for season 3, especially because we know some, bad things that are coming out. So we want to make sure that this keeps going. So go support Coy and everyone at DC Studio Showcase.
I don't know that new host they got, but I feel like we'd get along.
I like him a lot,
He
way more than
seems
you.
Informed,
That's
unlike me.
for sure. Can't wait to see you in the corner while he talks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit behind a desk yelling across a room. That's what I'll do about it. It's gonna be great.
That's right, guys. Yeah.
That's such a funny thing in the show.
I don't get it, John.
I enjoyed that.
What? Oh, sorry. I'll explain it when you're older.
And not
Yeah,
Guys,
so we're not live on the internet.
This QR code. Where's my hand?
Oh, hey.
Got my hand.
There you go.
Oh,
Look at that monitor.
right there. You scan your phone.
Grab it, Coy.
And then
Also do
then
prop
you,
comedy.
Then you could go to the show. You can go there.
Yeah.
You can go there.
It'll bring you there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, new episode today, season 2, episode 1 with Millie Alcock. We're talking to Supergirl herself right here. Right, this QR code, the one that's Millie Alcock's right there in this episode right here.
Ugh, enough about you. Can we go back to X-Men?
Hey, let's talk about the X-Men.
Let's go.
Hit play.
Speaking of comics,
Cannot be stopped.
Danger.
This isn't just
Man, those suits look great.
Okay, so they were hugging Nathaniel. Okay, it's definitely. Oh, yeah, that's right there. Yeah, that's her.
They
It's
just
Merle.
confirmed.
Yeah.
And a lot of death.
I
so
looked straight up like fucking Anya Taylor.
they really just like drew Anya Taylor-Joyce.
I thought it was like superimposed
That's
Anya
so
Taylor-Joy.
funny. Also, Magneto's M seems pretty predominant. I don't know if they'd kill Magneto, but this is time travel.
I think it's time.
It's time.
I think it's
He had
time.
a good
I think
run.
it's time to get rid of one of their best characters.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He had so many good philosophical questions to raise. They should end that.
Yeah. Nathan Summers hugging his dad, so they're going to get some real bonding.
Yeah.
That was an earlier shot. Let's keep it going.
All right, here we go.
it's about everyone we've lost.
Jubilee.
A lot of
breaking
Jubilee this season.
down.
I love the intercutting.
Savage Land, most likely.
Yeah.
Okay, go back.
We got
Go
to
back.
talk about
Okay.
like 5 things in a row right here.
So, where do you want to start?
Okay, a little bit further back. There we go. Okay, so we see Storm earlier in a classic X-Men outfit. This was actually her first outfit, like how she was introduced in Uncanny X-Men number 94, following Giant Size X-Men number 1. The show put her in white because it was easier to see her like amongst the clouds. Like they made the white outfit a thing. And then the comics actually followed suit, which I think is really funny. The 90s comics were so influenced by the 90s show. It's really cool to see the 90s show get to continue with quality animation and put her in like a comic accurate suit. So I think it's interesting and telling that you've got the Grant Morrison suits, which are clearly going to inspire us to tell different timelines. But we also get Storm in 2 very different iconic suits.
No?
Because earlier she was in the traditional suit. And this is her suit. So I'm really curious if that is like her traveling through times.
Dude, I know how much you've been opting for Storm to
My
get her
favorite-
own solo
my
show
favorite
or
X-Men.
solo movie, so I'm happy for him. Glad you
More
get to share all
Storm.
that. I don't understand how a white outfit makes it easier to see her in a cloud than a black outfit when you do the contrast of a black outfit against a cloud. But okay.
They put her in white.
I feel like she just blended more and it just doesn't. Okay,
I don't ask questions.
I do.
Ask you talk to the showrunners. Hey,
Bo DeMayo lives in my house.
ask them why.
We don't talk about
That's
X-Men.
fair.
Though.
It's
He
just-
refuses.
Just oiling up.
Like the whole reason you're here, man,
No.
is not for me to keep oiling
It's
you.
to use that back gym that
I'm
we just
trying
saw
to
on
find
our
out.
rejects hang. We had to kick him out for that video.
God damn it, Bo.
Bo. Bo's,
Anyway,
Bo's afraid.
hit play.
All right.
Okay, so he is morphing into Deadpool.
It's the second time because he morphs into Deadpool in the X-Men 90 show.
Does he?
Yeah, there's Deadpool in the X-Men 94, and I think it's Morph. 90% sure it's Morph because he's in the X-Men show.
Okay, so there's Psylocke.
Yes, and
Okay,
Archangel in the
so
back.
she's doing actual. So this is so Apocalypse right here. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay,
Yeah, that is dope.
amazing. Okay, they're going into a mouth,
Apocalypse's mouth.
a big mouth. They're going into a big mouth right here, Corey.
Yep, big mouth, very very
Big
important.
mouth.
Polaris.
Big mouth.
They're going to do some X dentistry.
Yes. Goateed Magneto, Emma Frost.
Frost.
See the other suit? I'm telling you, different timelines of Storm.
Yes. Oh, cool.
I think that's from the Scotty Sun era.
Well, I mean,
these two.
So Mystique kind of raised Rogue.
Yes.
Right. And then,
That makes them like half brother and sister.
yeah,
They're
Nightcrawler's the
siblings.
actual sibling. That makes sense. That lines up.
They'd have a bond. Polaris looks dope.
Damn, okay, go back.
That-
who else
who are
is, who else is in
they?
the shot?
Okay, that. Oh, dude, it's Chamber! Chamber's in X-Men 97 season 2.
Please talk about Chamber.
Okay, guys.
You have the floor, Coy.
You have the floor.
I
Chloe.
can't. Okay, Chamber is my favorite character from the 90s next to Ben Reilly. I cannot. Okay, so Chamber is awesome because he is like the badass heartthrob teen magazine guy, leather jacket, but when his powers activate, his abilities blow off his bottom jaw, and he's just got this eternal flame ruminating from his teeth down. He's got a gaping maw for a chest, and he speaks psionically in your mind with like a British accent. I cannot believe anyone else cares about Chamber than me.
Wait a minute. How do you know it's a British accent?
It's written phonetically like a punk, like a Sex Pistols vibe.
Oh.
It's awesome. I
cool.
before he was cast as Batman, I wanted Robert Pattinson to be Chamber. But again, 5 people care. He is an incredible character. He's next to Quentin Quire. Quentin Quire is there on the left with the pink hair. He is an Omega level mutant. That's a Magneto his right shirt, straight from the comic books. Looks like Nate Gray in the back. On the right is she has diamond hard skin. She's friends with she's a Generation X, like very beginning. She's actually a villain for a bit because of like her power set. We also have the dude there who can like mimic powers. This is actually Generation X. Like they're just doing what I said earlier about reading those comics. Now,
Now is the time.
holy shit! I cannot believe this. I'm getting my favorite obscure team. This is like Ben Reilly getting an Amazon show.
Who's on the gurney?
It looks like Nate Gray.
Okay.
I think the son of Cyclops and Jean. Dude, Chamber. This is my now my most anticipated show the
It's
rest
not
of the year.
Nathan Summers? It's Nathan Gray?
He goes by Nate Gray when he's X-Man and Nathan Summers when he's in the past timeline. So it depends on which one they're doing.
Oh.
So X-Man is this mega powerful, psionic, crazy, like almost Jean Grey level. Nathan Summers is him in development, and they're 2 different characters technically.
Cool.
So X-Man had his own run. Steve Scross art, incredibly beautiful. Went up against Spider-Man, awesome character.
Wow.
Dude,
My wife
Generation
said
X.
that our kid is going to have to go by her name.
Her name?
Yeah.
Messier?
And she's going to live somewhere else.
Well, that sounds like
Yeah.
marriage.
And a different man is going to take care of it.
And it might be his last name.
I met this man.
She wanted me to
He was cool.
sign off on it. Yeah.
I now live with Bo DeMayo.
It's going to drive me crazy if I don't pull his name, Generation X. I cannot believe we're getting Generation X. This is so crazy. Generation X.
Dude.
Marvel.
That's an actual real generation on planet Earth. Also, Generation X.
Generation Strange, Shonda leaving sign to our window panes. Go ahead and talk shit. Talk shit about me. Sync.
Sync.
Yes.
M Sync. Oh no, Sync. Okay, so you got
M is Monet.
They're saying what I found here is they're saying Penance, M, possibly Banshee, Sync.
So Penance, that's definitely Sync. And yes, I believe that is Penance. It's hard to tell, but I'm like 90% sure. And then Quentin Quire and Chamber.
Cool.
Dude, so excited. Holy crap.
John.
It's my
Hit
favorite
play.
frame.
Let's do it, boys.
Archangel. Go back. Oh my God. Go back.
So many flashes.
Who's this? Who's fighting?
That's Exodus and Nightcrawler.
That's Exodus. Oh, it's Exodus after Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Nightcrawler. Bamfing his way through some violence.
Yeah, this is the Apocalypse season, baby.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is what we couldn't get in the live action.
Too big.
Too big.
Too big. Oh my God. Sad Kurt.
Yeah, he's probably praying or something. All right, here we go.
Okay, we got Morph, we got Cyclops, we got Jean Grey, we got Archangel, we got Storm, we got Wolverine, we got...
So Wolverine got his
Forge.
claws pulled out of him from Magneto. I remember that. Remember that? Like,
Yeah.
that was a really violent moment. How did he get his claws back?
They'll have to explain it. They'll have to explain. Maybe it's a different timeline. Maybe it's a different Wolverine.
I don't know. It's the same outfit.
he can't wear someone else's clothes.
Sunspot with
we
the
got
official...
Pyro. Sunspot. We got Psylocke, Jubilee, Archangel, and then Beast was in the very beginning.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got the cover of the Wolverine #1. I love this comic.
Yeah, dude, Frank Miller.
I read this in preparation for the Wolverine movie. Oh,
It's the Frank Miller 4 issues is so special.
it's pretty great. Easy read.
That was awesome.
If there's anything I've learned from reading any X-Men comic is you got to be prepared to read.
That is how I read, by preparing to read.
I was just saying, like, a lot of comics are like, I'm breezing through this, got it done in a few minutes.
No, that's the thing about the show. Is like the show is also dense because it actually follows the characters. Like it is a dense world.
Yeah.
X-Men.
I'm saying X-Men has a lot of dialogue. Like there's a lot of dialogue in almost every X-Men comic. I've
Yeah,
read.
it's not a casual comic. Like
No.
it's a lot going on.
No, you got to like really get your like focus on here now. Anyway,
I cannot believe how much they just put in that trailer. Like that is so crazy.
I loved it. 12 out of 10. Great trailer. Great trailer. Coy, you look happy. There's green ooze on his claws. Ooh, who's that? Green.
I just know Chambers in the trailer. I can't believe it.
Hey, speaking of green, Lanterns, the greenest trailer of them all. Woo! You want to watch Lanterns now?
I haven't seen it yet. It's been
Roll
some
that
time.
ad. No.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right, here we go, baby. Lanterns.
This ring. It's the greatest weapon in the universe.
That's a green ring. It's green right there. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's green.
When and if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
Wow. This is way more comic-y.
Did you just use that ring to counterfeit money? No.
When and if to use it.
That's awesome.
Tell me how you got it. The ring.
You know how I got it. I sure as hell didn't interview for it.
Awesome.
Oh, well, shit, maybe you should have. Power like that, shouldn't you have to work for it?
This is still the blend of grit, but with way more lantern.
The only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
I think he likes me. Everybody's lying to us.
You're not leaving here till we find out what they're hiding. Dangerous part of the job.
Cool.
That is the lantern.
How are you chosen for this?
It's only one question. Are you afraid?
It's his outfit.
Oh yeah, guys, that's a green suit.
No, it's right there.
Are you afraid?
That's a different suit, I think.
I saw that image on the internet, yeah.
Are you afraid?
Guy Gardner in jail.
The "Are you afraid" chant is so lanterns.
Are you afraid?
This looks so intense.
That looked like LA.
I was raised fearless, and I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, John Stewart.
This cast is crazy.
Go get him, Tiger.
Go get him, J. Stu.
Well, so that first trailer was so much more just like crime grittiness, and this one is much more for like the comic fans.
Yeah, and I mean, I kept saying, and I got a lot of crap for it. I even saw like clip outs of people talking shit of like, I think we need to make things that are approachable first and then dial up the comic stuff, even if that means marketing it that way. This is literally that. I think comic fans are going to be there day one. I think we need to show people that assume they don't like comic stuff that there is a wonder in this world. Like we need to be getting people from outside, not just catering to the ones inside. It still needs to be, you know, a lanterns element, but I think marketing wise, that was a great move because now I'm even more excited. Like I was already excited for a gritty show on HBO that featured these characters, but this looks like it's a gritty earthbound lantern show.
Yeah. There's a lot of green in this trailer.
So much green.
It's a lot of green.
They did the green stuff.
It's funny. I didn't even like think about that when I saw the trailer the first time.
But then everyone for weeks.
Everyone was talking about it, and I don't know if I would have noticed how much green there is if people.
If I hadn't been looking for
keep
it,
yelling about it. But
I don't think 10 seconds goes by without green in this trailer.
yeah, there's a lot of green. Like they kick it off with a lot. Like we're showing you the
Green Lantern.
There's green lanterning happening in this trailer. There was an interesting tidbit earlier on there where they were bickering with each other because about earning the spot as Green Lantern because Hal Jordan, what's the alien who crashes?
Abin Sur.
That's the one.
Close to Insaba Nur.
Yes. bunch of white people writing these.
In the 60s and 70s.
Sting, The Rock, a bunch of fake ass people.
So, yeah, because in that comic or in the origin of him, he's just kind of given the fucking ring.
Well, the guy dies.
The guy dies. It's like, here's the lantern. You're to get the ring now.
You're the guy.
I did read the original. Sometimes I just like going back and reading the first issue of things. I read the very first issue of Green Lantern. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But it seems like Jon Stewart's having to do a lot more work to actually earn that.
Yeah, and he doesn't love that. Like, it isn't. I like that the no fear element is so strong because that's yellow and that's all the things that make the mythology of Lantern work. But him being someone without fear and making that expressly known and still not getting the ring feels like he's being slighted.
Yeah.
This is a very different thing than the X-Men trailer where like frame for frame won't really benefit it in the same comic-y way because it is by nature an adaptation of the mythos, not like adapting a comic book run. And I think that these two trailers back to back is a really cool example of how different shows can be while still being based on comic books.
Do you think Hal Jordan's going to die?
I don't. Everyone does. And like I feel like they're setting it up to seem like that. And I don't know if it's a mislead or if I'm just misreading it. I personally don't think he will.
Well, they set this up to be like multiple seasons.
Yeah.
And I feel like this kind of show that would work with the two of them.
A duo.
Like it has to be a duo, yeah. And I think you'd lose a lot if it's not a duo.
I also think that Hal Jordan, we just got him back. It's been a long time since the Ryan Reynolds debacle. I think there are a lot of diehard Hal Jordan fans. I think it'd be very difficult to navigate that.
How do you think they would handle Guy Gardner in here? Do you think Guy Gardner would be back to the goofiness? Do you think there's a way to find the more serious tone of Guy Gardner after what was established for him in Superman?
Yeah, because there's depth to Guy Gardner. There was a really good run, not a run, a single issue actually, but a recent Jerry Duggan Guy Gardner issue that really showed like how much he uses comedy to protect himself, like Deadpool. And I think that Nathan Fillion is someone who can absolutely show the reason he's a dick is his own insecurity. Yeah. Like Nathan Fillion's a really good actor and he's really good at like showing layers and he looks like a jock, but like he's got depth. I think you cast Nathan Fillion so you assume he's just a douchebag with a bowl cut, but then you let him show that like there's way more underneath Guy Gardner. And I think that long form is a great opportunity to give him that, whether he's in, 2 episodes or more, you still have more screen time to really play with.
Yeah.
In a movie called Superman, you don't take the time to learn Guy Gardner. You use him as a cool introduction to the world building. You show that superheroes are already established. You make Guy Gardner like, look, we have lanterns. You don't go like, let's give him 20 minutes of screen time to show the depth of but on a show called Lanterns.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good opportunity to show the difference between Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan by way of Guy Gardner. Because if you look at what the trailer's telling us, it's a trailer about fear. It's a trailer about insecurity. It's a trailer about entitlement. Like, why do I have to prove myself? Like, you just got the ring. And then you've got a douchebag with the ring. What happened there? Like, how does he get a ring and I don't have it yet? Like, there's a great third opportunity with Guy Gardner having met him in Superman. I also think the time jump is going to be really interesting because we found out this takes place
timelines.
2016, 2026. I almost guarantee because of the way they discussed no human lanterns in that first trailer, and everyone's like, they're not even paying attention to their own continuity. We already met Guy Gardner. Guys, 2016 and 2026. So we're going to see in 2026, which is where Guy Gardner is here clearly, what has changed with the Lantern Corps.
Yeah, I mean, from the impression that I'm getting from this
and
trailer,
a very young Kyle Chandler here.
And you see that Jon Stewart's like watching him and like looking up to him as like a hero.
Yeah. And he's in it looks like comic accurate suit there.
It looks much greener there than it does in the shot of the close up of him. Yeah.
I think that might be a different suit or a weathered, but either way, it's not what
probably
this image
be
is.
Symbolic of what he's going through at this time.
Right. And the scope of this looks huge. I mean, obviously we have a lot of down and gritty shots, but like that cosmic shot John just had up and like, these space shots, I think the show is going to evolve as we went through. And I think that first trailer is a lot of the beginning of the show.
Sure. Yeah. I'd meet you there. Yeah, man, that was a cool trailer. I do kind of wish that we can get a slight sense of what the threat is. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a great show. I really do feel that way. I'm not just saying it. I felt that since the beginning. But I don't really get this. It's like I love the idea of like it being small town and a lot more contained. and it's feeling more personal and gritty. You can't communicate everything in a trailer for a season of television, but if you're going to be having two lanterns in here going up against this case, I would like to know
what the case
I would
is.
like there to be like a, because even in like Peacemaker season 1, we didn't know what the threat was before we watched it, but there was a cool mystery to it as they were unpacking it, where you start to understand why they have to go on this mission, and it does feel big and important. And here, they're saying it, but I'm not really quite getting a sense of what it is. It's not really a criticism; it's just more of a desire.
Sure.
So hopefully that just conveys.
I mean, we don't have Sinestro in the trailer. He was cast.
You think Sinestro might be
I think
a
they
human
cast
in,
Sinestro.
just there, like chilling, maybe as a human in
Just
disguise?
a cop just hanging. But that's, I mean, like, we don't have the antagonist in the trailer, so we haven't really. I don't feel like they're giving away the third act or the second act, really, but they're alluding to it, like with the space stuff. I don't know if they'll do a third trailer because it's out in August, but I hear what you're saying, but also acknowledging like there's more that we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg if we haven't seen Sinestro.
That's fair. That's fair.
I liked that trailer a lot.
I thought that was a great trailer.
Yeah,
That was great.
The team behind it's had me excited for 2 years now, so now I'm like, it's here. It's going to be June before we know it.
Although I can't trust my opinion because we shout out DC Studios.
Yeah, I can't even talk without people just saying like, well, of course he likes it, but I did.
Let me find something I don't like. Can you keep scrolling? I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. There's nothing here that is outrightly bad to me just yet. I should have said that was a criticism about the villain thing, and then I could have just used that shit. I don't really watch a lot on HBO, but I will be paying.
There's 2 moons in that
money
shot.
for,
That's too many moons.
Do I want to pay $11 a month to watch the show? Ah, fuck it. I'm a shell.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think it looks great. I'm excited.
It looks great. It looks great.
Why is he talking to a blue bird? Why isn't a green bird?
It's actually, it is a green bird. They just colored it like that for the trailer.
Could have gotten a green jay if they shilled out for it.
Yeah, that's right. They'll recolor correct it, and then that bird's actually Sinestro.
That's right. Get a green jay next time. That's my comment. That's my
Yeah.
problem.
Just
100%.
thematically made more sense, and to shout them out here, and it's funny because you're here. It just made more sense.
Actually, you know what? I take it back. While I'm chilling, I gotta say, blue and yellow make green. Yellow's the color of fear, so this clearly symbolizes he doesn't know fear because you've removed yellow from green to give you a blue jay, implying nobility and truth.
Dude, symbolism. That's a breakdown right there.
There it is. That's why it's a blue jay.
Call him.
Well,
Thank 'em.
guys,
Green minus yellow. Elementary, dear Watson.
And the sky, blue.
Blue.
we did it, guys. We talked about 2 trailers. I'm excited for 2 trailers and 2 shows that are coming out.
Huzzah.
July and August back to back. It's a good summer for comic stuff.
Dude, it's gonna be a great summer, and I can't wait. Are you interviewing them?
Yeah. I assume.
So you don't know for sure?
I mean, like, that's in 2 months.
That would suck if you don't.
I hope and have so much to say. And like, it's also one of the times where I'm as excited to talk to Damon Lindelof, Chris Mundy, and Tom King as I am the on-camera talent. Like, the below the line is so strong. If they asked me which one, if we only have like, you know, a certain amount of time, I don't know which I'd pick. And that feels good. Because it's not just the showy. I want to know like the meat of the show.
Yeah, meat.
All
right,
So yeah, I
guys.
hope so. Kyle Chandler, come on the show.
Meat Lantern.
Aaron
Lantern.
Pierre, you're a delight. I love that Rebel Ridge.
Let's go watch Avengers now.
Let's go watch Avengers now. Spoiler for next Sunday. You guys
Thanks
are paying attention to Doomsday Watch Along. That's chronically next.
Thanks for,
Chronically.
thanks for being here.
chronological.
That's chronically next. I need to get home. I need to get back to Bo as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Double Dunkirk.
That was a perfect ending.